How did you feel when you found out he was like an actual gang member?
Oh, I don't even remember the time that it dawned on me. But just getting all the calls from jail and stuff, I'm like, this is not what happens to a normal person who's doing normal things, 9 to 5 type things. So I figured he really was deep in the culture. I didn't know how deep. I didn't know about the different areas. I
So,
mean, I lived
so you
pretty
grew
much
up.
sheltered.
So you grew up having nothing to do and no knowledge about gangs or
No,
anything.
I mean, I could say that's not true. I did have a little gang friend in junior high school. He was a schoolyard Crip, and I remember hearing about YA, about him going to the California Youth Authorities, and so I knew a little bit about it. I knew DJ Quick was the best blood I've ever heard on radio, and I am a big time DJ Quick fan. And C-Mac's supposed to be doing something with DJ Quick, and I cannot wait. I cannot wait.
Okay, yeah, that'd be crazy.
I know, right?
Okay, so you find out that he's in the
Yes.
streets,
Yes, he's in the streets.
and now he's in and out of jail, and now I'm sure by now you're probably pretty worried about him.
I am. I'm praying and praying that I would always tell him, honey, please join the military or something. And it's kind of a shame to admit that I would tell people when they asked about my son, because I was ashamed of the whole gang culture, that he's in the military or he's doing something. And I was hoping to speak that into existence. And, somebody said on one of his channels that he would have been a hell of a Marine.
Mm.
He's got that go hard mentality and 100% committed, but maybe he's put here for some other reason.
Yeah.
He's like a Renaissance man. I think somebody said that on No Jumper, that he's a Renaissance man. Shout out to Adam.
How did you feel when he kind of started to become famous and everything?
It didn't dawn on me and Granny Bear. Shout out Granny Bear. We still to this day, we don't see the enormity. She wears a lot of his shirts too. Like I have the Free the Maxit shirt. She'll be out in public and she'll have this on and somebody will be like, oh man, we know about that guy. She goes, that's my grandson. And, she's just so proud. Yeah, Granny's a supporter. She's got some videos out with him too, if you check his page. And they're out and about, driving in the car, talking and laughing. There's even one out there with him singing. He's singing a gospel song. And that's a really touching moment.
Okay, I haven't seen that one.
Oh, you need to check it out.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, you mentioned he has 2 cousins from Hoover.
Yes.
Now, he has been known, we got into the forehead tattoo, which we'll kind of get into a little bit later.
I know.
But having 2 cousins from Hoover, and you said that he loves them.
Yes.
That it doesn't affect him at all.
Yeah.
How does that dynamic work, like at a family function?
Well, they're distant cousins, obviously, because of that. And it's just, unfortunately, the family's fractured on that part. We have everybody everywhere. They're all so separate. Everyone's living their own separate lives. But I pray that, he can get together with them. And I just don't even know how that would look. But we've all been living separate lives. Nobody's really been like cousins coming over every other weekend. We've all been in different parts of the country. So
you feel like that the tattoo and all the Hoover hate kind of do we want to talk about this?
I hate it so much, you guys. You have no idea. When I saw him walk in with that tattoo, my heart broke. I thought to myself, this is it. This is the end of him. He's doing something so intense, something so major that can't be. It's permanent.
Yeah. He didn't give you no warning or nothing. He just walked right in with it.
And I feared for his life every day. And I still have a bit of that too, but he could fear for my life. I'm on a motorcycle almost every day. We all have our destiny and we've accepted that. But it's just so scary to know that he's walking around with, that's that much anger. Whatever perpetuated that, that's what he needs to get to the core of. And I pray that he can. But until then, I support my son 100%.
Yeah, it was.
I'll never stop supporting my son, ever. 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 5 ever. On Hood.
Yeah, we've talked about the tattoo before
Yeah.
on my show. We've talked about how it being, a pretty deadly commitment to have on his forehead,
Oh yeah.
So I'm sure it's something you worry about a lot. And, it's kind of on your mind. What'd you say to him when he first walked through the door?
What the fuck were you thinking? What is that shit? Mom, I got this, this is how I feel, this is what I'm gonna do, this is what I'm about. Well, honey, I'm real disappointed. And I think I left and I spent some time with my best friend and I cried a little and I said, damn, doesn't he understand the grandiosity of this and why isn't he getting it? And then I finally had to come to acceptance. And I don't care what anyone says, my form of acceptance may look different than the next person's. And that's just letting him live his life. And God's going to fade that little by little. And there's concealer, there's stuff to lighten it up, there's processes if he decides to go that route. I just want to be a grandma. He just needs to hurry up and give me a child that I can play with and send back.
You leave and you don't talk to Crip Mac for a little while over the tattoo. What do you say to him when you actually sit down and have a conversation with him?
I don't even know what to say, son. You know how I feel about it, but I don't love you any less. And we're going to get through whatever it is that caused you to do that. We're going to get through it together. He said, thank you, Mom. I love you. And I said, I love you too, son.
Yeah. Man. Well, you're strong.
Gotta be. Raising as a single mom, raising this man who's turned out to be like this Renaissance presence is really demanding. Whew. I want to make him proud. It's almost like reversed, situations, with my voiceovers and working and paying off my debts and having a fantastic credit score and all this kind of stuff that I celebrate, my investments and retirement. I mean, I'll be 50 in December. So, I'm coming into that age where it's, I'm ready to travel and, and just hit the road on my motorcycle and go across country. And I know he's okay. He's just a phone call away.
Yeah, that would be cool. On your motorcycle traveling.
Oh yeah. Wish I could get his scary ass on one. Shoot, that'd be so cool. Who knows? Who knows what God has in plan? Who knows what's in the works?
Yeah. Okay. Well, so Crip Mac, he gets on No Jumper.
Right.
Well, he was kind of blowing up before then.
Yeah, he was. He was doing really well. He was doing really well.
He gets on No Jumper, and he really takes off. I think that's where I've initially kind of seen him.
Right.
Taking off. I reached out to him not too long after he was on No Jumper. Brought him on my show, and the numbers were crazy. The people really liked him. Now, how are you feeling after you're seeing all this? You know what I'm saying? This is like, he's just becoming like bigger and bigger and bigger
Every
and bigger.
day when I got home, I'll turn on YouTube and put in C-Mac to look. But it was already up there, and I'll see all the videos, and it's just like being there with him. I'm in Vegas, and he's in Los Angeles, but I felt just that connection because 2 minutes later, I could be on the phone like, hey, babe, how you doing? And that's my baby. That's my son, I'm talking to. But I'm looking at him up on the big screen and just admiring all the efforts and stuff that he does out and feeding the homeless and being really dedicated and getting up and programming every morning. That's pretty, wow.
Yeah, he had the cat, he had the exercises, and the tattoo.
Exactly. Sounds like an album cover on those three things.
I think it was kind of shocking for people to see this big dude with this, tattoo on his forehead, but he's actually out there feeding the homeless, and he's like having a cat.
And a cat.
It was kind of like, wait a minute, what's going on here?
That should tell people that there's an interesting balance about C-Mac. He's multifaceted. The Renaissance. I mean, I can't get over that was mentioned on No Jumper when they did the jail call from, when he's incarcerated to the show. And somebody mentioned he is the Renaissance man of our time. And that's just, that's a remarkable compliment.